spins right, slips two defenders, and then scores midair. Gets around Weed, off the bounce, shot, and a score. Wow.
Uwe on the move.
Near side, sets up a shot and a score for Heidmiller. Levine with some speed. Levine fakes a pass. Levine all the way is going to fire and score. Who's the man? Spellman's the man. That's who. Shot, score. It's hat trick time for Mike Durkin.
For the steps, line comes over.
Shot, score.
1-on-1 with Hall.
There he is.
There's the pass, there's the score, and there's the win. Up top, Druin. He wants a shot, and he's got it! Wow!
Gregorian behind the cage.
It's a dash to his right, wraps it around for the goal. Hale gets inside, shot, and score for the victory. Chase, extra feed, shot, score, game over! Well, hello everyone, and welcome here to Bedford. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you, getting set for the 2021 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division II Championship game between the Portsmouth Clippers and the Timberlane Owls. Well, both teams have had a long road to get here to Championship Saturday. The Division II tournament, an open tournament due to the COVID-19 situation. 21 teams all in all vying for this spot. And, well, let's start with Portsmouth, a team that went, 13-1 during the regular season. They've added 4 tournament victories since then, including a tough first round out against the Winnicott Warriors. Most recently, Portsmouth dispatching of defending champion Derryfield by a final score of 6-4. That game was just a few nights ago. While Timberlane, kind of the Cinderella story, so to speak, a 10-6 mark coming in. They drew a first round one bye before eliminating Alvern in the preliminary round. They beat a very good Hollis Brookline team in the quarterfinals, and then handed Kingswood their only loss of the season in the semifinals back on Wednesday. So 2 teams, Roger, playing perhaps their best lacrosse of the season on a collision course here in the championship game.
Yes, indeed. And, hey, Timberlane shows up in this game having really never gotten to this level, never mind the semifinal level, in their lacrosse history. This team here has got some speed out there. They've got a very high level D2 commit going to Lemoyne, and they have really stretched out their roster and done everything right to get to this point in the D2 finals. Portsmouth, we have seen them several times this year. They are a defensive juggernaut. They can shut down the best offenses out there and just wear them down to the point where they get so frustrated that they come out of their game, and that's their forte. But I don't know what to expect out of Timberlane and their offense, but we'll talk more about that when we get to the keys to the game.
They've been known to get it done defensively. They've built a wall at times around sophomore goaltender Brady Marston, who looked very good in the one broadcast we did that featured Timberlane.
Yeah, on the watch list.
And, of course, they have senior Billy Savage, who was just named the Division II Defensive Player of the Year, their only first-team All-State selection. So a blue-collar squad that's known to get down and dirty on the defensive end with good goaltending. That sounds like a traditional championship recipe, doesn't it?
It does, and you're right. I mean, their strength has been on their defensive side of things. When we did that Oyster River game earlier in the season, that was a 9-2 win for Timberlane, and they literally shut Oyster River down, who was on it. Oyster River was on a tear at that point in the season, and it was a very exciting game to see from a defensive standpoint. But who's going to shine out there for Timberlane on offense today. We know about the Billy Savages and we know about the Brady Marstons. Who's going to put the ball in the net for the Owls?
Meanwhile, for Portsmouth, a very talented junior squad that has a mix of seniors in there, some freshmen, particularly on the attack, have been able to contribute as well. But perhaps the most intriguing storyline is on the sideline. Chad Vischer, been there for well over a decade now. He's brought the team to the championship round a couple of times now in the last 4 or 5 years, and really the only thing missing from Coach Vischer's resume would be a championship trophy, which this squad may or may not be 48 minutes away from attaining.
That is true. Take out COVID year 2020. Portsmouth has been in the semifinals and the finals 3 times in the previous 3 years, 1918 and 2017. They've gotten to the big dance in 2017 and 2018 and lost both times to Derryfield. This is their first time at hitting pay dirt and coming away with a trophy.
We mentioned the all-state selections. Portsmouth ended up with 3 first-teamers. Owen Ingerson, perhaps their top defenseman. Long pole, he'll be one to keep an eye on tonight. And, of course, Mike Durkin, who really has spearheaded the attack all season long. The junior figures to play another prominent role tonight for the Clippers.
Yes, indeed, and I'm looking. Let's just jump ahead to one of my keys, which is Mike Durkin. You give Mike Durkin the ball, and he makes things happen. This guy can change planes very quickly. He can change hands very quickly. He's an opportunist, and he does things with the ball that you wouldn't normally see out of a midfielder of his size. But he knows how to play the game. And, another attribute of his is that he's just got tremendous IQ. He's always at the right place at the right time, it seems.
By the way, if you're just joining us, the BG Cardinals won the Division I championship on this field earlier by a final score of 9-7 over Exeter. The Cardinals complete the undefeated season and capture the 10th championship under head coach Chris Cameron. Also in Division III, that championship has gone final. The Trinity Pioneers, a 9-6 victory over Plymouth in the finals. So we've got BG, we've got Trinity in the winner's circle on the boys' side, and, well, one of these 2 teams will be the final team to step into that circle. Will it be the Portsmouth Clippers, a 17-1 record in the regular season, or will it be the upstart Timberlane Owls led by head coach Ken Blaska? We got a key, Roger, to the game. Mike Durkin on the Portsmouth side. What else can Timberlane do to come away with a win tonight?
Yeah, they need to have an over-the-top exceptional game by Billy Savage and Marston. They need those 2 to come up big. Billy Savage can dominate a defensive battle out there. We've seen him at We've seen him at long pole defense as well as close defense throughout the season. But when he gets the ball, he makes things happen. Billy Savage, Marston on Timberlane's side, Durkin, and Michaelitis on the Portsmouth side.
All right, a great crowd here for a championship game as fans have come from both the seacoast and the southern part of the state. We step aside for the national anthem.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Well, there it is, the national anthem in the books. A cool night, at least in comparison to the last week or so. We had a lot of humidity, a lot of rain showers as well throughout the southern New Hampshire region, but it's been gorgeous all day. The sun beginning to set here as we hit the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. Nick Anastas, along with Roger Howe, Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance in conjunction with the NFHS Network and airing live on NFHSnetwork.com. The officials, Sean Riley, Steve Small, Kevin Durhock, and Robin Day, a four-person officiating crew here as we get set for this Division II championship. Neither team has won a D2 title.
A day of firsts in Division II.
Yep.
Marston comes out with sweatpants on.
Both teams, by the way, coincidentally, have the same school colors. Black, white, and maroon. Timberlane, via luck of the draw, was technically the higher seed, despite the fact that Portsmouth had the better record. So the Owls are in their home whites, while the Clippers are in their road maroons. Timberlane will work left to right. Portsmouth will counter right to left in this 12-minute first quarter. From the face-off X, it's the freshman for Portsmouth, Nick Smith, who comes away with the first draw. Opening face-off goes to the Clippers, and we are underway here from Bedford. The 2021 NHIAA Division II Boys Championship game.
Yeah, Nick Smith is going to be another key to the game for Portsmouth. He was very strong, not only on faceoffs but offensively for the Clippers in that game against Derryfield.
By the way, a large student section off to our left. That's the Timberlane section of this crowd, cheering on this Owl defense here on Portsmouth's first possession.
Good pressure.
That's the long pole. Gary Shivel, freshman defender, expected to log a lot of minutes for Timberlane's head coach, Ken Blaska. Near side, this is Zach Amend. We mentioned two freshmen, Smith and Amend, both expected to play large roles for the men in maroon tonight for Portsmouth. Here's Durkin dropping that shoulder. Two defenders in the area forcing him out of the box.
Great adjacent slide to double up Durkin there.
Now Amend gets inside the defender, down the middle. Going to fire on the run that is knocked down and stopped by Marston. That's Brady Marston. Began the season, Roger, on the All-State watch list, and has seemingly gotten better as the year has gone on.
Yeah, we don't see him on either the first team or second team, but I'll tell you what we've seen of him this year has been phenomenal.
Meanwhile, some trouble at midfield. Braden Bowman, the sophomore, surrounded by maroon jerseys, lost the ball. And this one turned over to Portsmouth here with now 2 minutes gone by in this opening quarter. Here is Durkin, perhaps the most explosive offensive weapon for Portsmouth. He lost it. Good defensive play by Kyle Shaw, the junior midfielder. Now Shaw had Smith on his backside, passes it near side for Ethan Jerry and the junior. Going to circle the net to the far side, working his way back middle. Pass off target. Trying to hook up with senior Cam Noyes here near side. That went away from Noyes, out of bounds. Second giveaway by the Owls. Gives it back to Portsmouth. 2.5 now gone by.
Yeah, that's what's going to be important for the Timberlane Owls to start settling things down on offense. This is a defense that's not going to give you many second chances.
Meanwhile, an offside call here at midfield. That'll give it back to the Owls. So both teams with some avoidable mistakes here. Roger, is that some of the championship jitters, perhaps? Players coming out nervous, or it's just the course of things?
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked about that center line here at Bedford before, where it's not delineated from the other lines. And if you haven't played here before, Timberlane especially hasn't played here before, it's harder. It's harder to see that.
A man shot middle, rattles off the crossbar, and safely out of play.
But yes, the jitters are definitely there for both teams, but more so for Timberlane, having not been here before.
That was a good look for junior attack Dylan Rolfs. Now Rolfs draws a slide. Comes back out with a low pass. Keegan Myers played a very good game, I thought, defensively in that semifinal win over Derryfield.
Yeah, and you don't see this on the stat sheet, at least from my stat sheet, but he was great on clears. He trapped down on rides and clears and just was always there.
Meanwhile, coming middle, it's Mike O'Neill, stripped from behind, and eventually it's Marston from out of the cage who gets to that ground ball. Finds Asylum in the crease, and now his teammate with a foot race down the middle. It's Cole Newman. The junior defenseman keeps the ball in his short stick. Comes near side for Jerry. Jerry looking to get inside the defender, runs into 3 different defenders. Tied up, still has it, and now it does end up on the turf. A mend in the area for Portsmouth, a whistle going to go against the Clippers. Owls will keep it. Just over 4 minutes gone by in this first quarter. Owls trying to get on the board first as Timberlane's on the attack here left to right. On the move, this is Nate Vibber. Senior headed to Husson up in Bangor. Lost the ball. Long pole far side. This is Ingwerson who steps through 2 defenders. The defenseman with a clear goes up the floor, up the field to Heidinger. Rolfs! Shot score. Dylan Rolfs, the junior, on his second shot goes upstairs to light the lamp. And it's the Clippers who strike first. Portsmouth out in front 1-0.
Boy, this guy Heidinger, man, he makes a living of getting assists over on the 10. He made a rifle assist in that Derryfield game that was a critical point of the game. And here he is again, way out of the box, way out, and he finds Rolfs just strolling right down the pipe.
It comes with nearly 5 minutes gone by, first quarter. Portsmouth a 1-0 lead. And they'll get their second face-off as well. Smith for Rolfs. Leaves it for O'Neill, who goes low and scores through the 5-hole. That's Michael O'Neill. Portsmouth back-to-back goals, 7 seconds apart. Lead 2-0.
Wow. Now there's your Nick Smith connection. Goes to Rolf on the fast break. Bangs it down to O'Neill, who hits 5-hole.
Very well done in transition, and Coach Chad Fisher. It's got to be liking the start here. His club out in front 2-0.
Indeed. But, hey, look at the Timberlane defense right now. They're ready to go. They say, bring it on. Bring it on.
Portsmouth got out in front against Derryfield in the semifinal by a score of 2-0 as well. Meanwhile, this one eventually ends up with Portsmouth's Henry Fitzpatrick. Clippers now 3 for 3, at the face-off X. Rolfs able to dodge and weave. Now Heidinger jogging along that far sideline. Clippers have it. 5 minutes gone by, first quarter. Portsmouth hoping to open up a 3-0 lead. It's O'Neill on the near side, trying to deal with Jaden Lee, the senior defender, heading to Riviere, and good play. Meanwhile, pass broken up. Savage able to recover. Gets it to Marston. Marston down the middle. Finds his Owl teammate Nick Canzano, the senior. A good shimmy shake. Avoids Dom Mulderry at midfield, and now has his teammate ready to go. That's Jerry. Jerry back to the cage behind the net. Looks for a man out in front. That one off target. Tried to hook up with Noyes. Instead, Mulderry with a little start-stop. Good clear by the junior. Looks middle for Rolfs, who's going to pull it out beyond the 30 and restart the attack here for Portsmouth at the midway point first quarter.
Well, Noah DeLong, the Fogo for Timberlane, gets the clamp and pops it out. Nearly gets it. We'd be talking about a offensive possession for Timberlane, but not so.
Instead, pretty good wing play, right? On the face-off by Portsmouth as they begin 3 for 3 at the X. A 2-0 lead on the board for the Clippers. Rolfs and O'Neill, the 2 goals.
Yeah, I think if I'm the Clippers here, I keep pressing. Keep these guys on their heels if you're Portsmouth.
Here's Durkin, one of the players to watch for Portsmouth. The junior to the far side, draws a slide. To avoid the hit, try to force a pass middle for O'Neill, gets away from him. Now a scrap out in front of the cage. He's going to see 3 players make it 5-7 now on the ground. Falling like dominoes here. The officials swallowing the whistles. There's no call. Pass ends up, by the way, over the head of everybody into that far corner out of bounds. But inside of 5 minutes now, first quarter. Officials letting them play.
Yeah, and I didn't see any infractions there. Obviously, official day and Riley were right there. Didn't really see any infractions either. Ooh, snag.
This one picked off by Savage. The Division II Defensive Player in the Year, showing you why, as he just snatched that one with the long pole. Goes back to Marston, who's out of the cage. Looking to free somebody up here in the middle. He's got Nate Vibber. And the senior showing some good footwork. Gets past the 50. Meanwhile, another errant pass as Noyes threw it a little too strongly. Cam Noyes, his brother Jack, the senior, able to hunt it down and keep it inbounds for Timberlane.
Yeah, if you're Timberlane, you need to settle it here. You need to do what Exeter was doing in that first game, the Division I final. Here we go. Get your guys on the field. This is Nick Matthews, the big attackman, the senior, the biggest player on the field by far, protecting the ball with the stick in his right arm. It also seems to be a fan favorite amongst the Owl fans. This shot, by the way, out of play as we're inside of 4 minutes first quarter. Timberlane trying to get on the board, trailing 2-0. Yeah, and Henry Fitzpatrick's going to draw that assignment. Change over.
What do we got here? A moving screen, perhaps?
I didn't see it, Nick, in all honesty. I was watching our friend, Mr. Matthews, I thought was going to stay on the field and rotate into the offense.
Either way, it was another Owl giveaway. Had 3 turnovers here in this first period, all in the attack zone. Heading towards 3 minutes. Portsmouth a chance to go up 3-0. Coach Fisher trying to get everybody spaced out here. Goes middle for Danny Bottrell. A touch here for Baden Paterson, the sophomore. So Paterson and Bottrell. Little 2-man game here. Going to bring it near side. Bottrell being hunted by the long stick defender, Dunn Lancelieve. Bottrell trying to spin on Lancelieve, throws it away.
Yeah, I think the purpose behind spreading the defense out, if you're the offense here, is you want to start playing a perimeter game and not going one-on-one necessarily, because you got no slides out there until you can beat a person. But if you're not going to beat a person, get the ball to the next guy. Start something on the other end.
Yeah, spacing not quite proper there as Portsmouth gives it away. Owls still trying to get on the board here. Coming up with 2 minutes to go first quarter. Haven't seen too many shots produced by this Timberlane attack either.
No, nothing. No shots on goal yet.
Out front, here's George. That one off the leg of Ingwerson, the defender, and the senior off and running. A clean scoop up with that long pole. Ingwerson still with it. Left side for Rolf. Shot there a little high. And out of play, it'll stay with the Clippers.
Yeah, the Owls got a little lucky there because Joe Schivel came back on the rotation on the fast break and almost tripped and fell, giving them a little bit of extra time and spacing, and that shot just goes wide.
There's Amend. Off target on the pass, out of bounds. Looked like some miscommunication there on that far side wing. Another Portsmouth turnover.
This is one of the silent things you see on defense is that we're already starting to see that the Owls can get on their hands and make some things happen with errant passes and dropped balls. So, that's a good attribute for the defense as well.
Final 90 seconds. Pass deflected. Loose on the near sideline. Fighting for it is Jerry for Timberlane. Couple of pushes back and forth, and the game's first penalty is going to be called with 1:15 to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's going to be interference on Matthews. You got to play the ball. You can't play the body and obstruct another player from getting to it, and that's exactly what happened there.
Are they going to get Matthews? Or maybe Jerry? A few players going to that Timberlane sideline, including Ryan Freeman, senior attackman. Slap 5 with.
Looks like we're both wrong.
Head coach Ken Blaska.
It's a Clippers penalty.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Who's over there for Portsmouth? Is that Peter Wool, the defender? Number 12?
That is number 12. It is.
That's Peter Wool, one of the players involved in that shoving match. So the first penalty goes against Portsmouth. Timberlane an opportunity to cut the Clipper lead in half and get on the board. They look middle. Pass, though, is broken up. Ball taken off the bounce by Ingwerson. Another ground ball for the long pole defender. The senior fights off two players. Those long strides down the far sideline coming into effect there for Portsmouth. Pass taken by Myers behind the cage. Out in front, Rolfs. Extra feed for O'Neill. Shot and score. Unselfish play there by the Portsmouth attack. They do it shorthanded. And they take a 3-0 lead with 37 seconds to go in this first quarter.
Well, how about that? Goal occurs when you're man down. Rolfs gets the goal this time from O'Neill, returning the favor on the second goal, where O'Neill gets the goal in the apple from number 27. So you don't see that often, but hey, good for them.
I suppose it started on the defensive end with Owen Ingwerson on that scoop up, clear, sparked the break, and then the transition goal a moment later. Meanwhile, Smith, another Portsmouth win at the face-off X. He's 4 for 4. And the Clippers have it with now inside of 30 seconds to go in this first quarter. Trying to build on this 3-0 lead. Heidinger for Amend. Freshman going to come near side. Pass broken up by Savage. Takes a trip over the 50, and now the Owls have it. Ryan Lalim on the move. Lalim. Eyes on the cage, dodges past one man. Ball does not come out cleanly. Foot race behind the cage. Out of bounds with less than 5 seconds remaining. It'll stay with the Owls. Near side, here's Freeman. Shot, score! That's going to count. Able to beat the buzzer. Scores with less than a second to go. Great individual move by Ryan Freeman, the senior attackman. He's got Timberlane on the board now at 3-1.
Lots of confusion here on both sides of the ball here. Remember now, when the goalie goes to stretch on a shot to get possession, the referee's got to give him time to get back in the cage. And I think Timberlane thought that was going to be a quick whistle, and they got into position where Portsmouth did not, leaving Freeman almost by himself to get to the cage. That's a miss. There we go.
That'll do it.
There we go.
For quarter number 1. Portsmouth scored the first 3. Timberlane, though, ends the quarter on a high note by lighting the lamp. 3-1 Clippers after one. Right back to Bedford in just a moment. You're watching coverage of the 2021 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division II Championship game here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Back here in Bedford, Nick Anastas, along with Roger Howe. Our Friday Night Lights coverage. Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Coverage presented by Beals Insurance, broadcasting in conjunction with our friends at the NFHS Network. Seen live only on NFHSnetwork.com. Portsmouth scoring 3 goals and keeping Timberlane off the board for most of that first quarter. The Owls finally cracked the ice with less than a second to go to make it 3-1 Portsmouth after one.
Yeah, exciting quarter. It went fast. Went really fast. Couple seconds left here, and Timberlane gets right back in it.
Meanwhile, Portsmouth now 5 for 5 at the face-off X. That's been all thanks to freshman Nick Smith. So an early advantage at the X for the Clippers. 3-1 lead, and now a timeout has been called by Portsmouth as veteran headman Chad Vischer wants to talk it over. Reminder, tomorrow morning, a full championship recap on our recap show. That's FNL NH Lacrosse, the FNL NH Lacrosse show. Every Sunday at 9, only on FNL NH Media, the home of Friday Night Lights New Hampshire. We're on YouTube at FNL NH Media. Tomorrow, the FNL NH Lacrosse show, which will feature Chris Cameron of the Division I champion BG Cardinals in studio. We'll have a chat with the BG women's head coach, girls head coach Leslie Y. And hopefully one of these two head coaches will join us as well. The winner, whether that's Coach Vischer or Coach Blaska, we'd love to hear from them tomorrow morning as well. So set your alarm, 9 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. It's the FNL NH Lacrosse show, and it's presented by the New Hampshire Tomahawks.
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you want either one of these two coaches to get up for 9 o'clock broadcast tomorrow morning, you better get them after the game tonight and tell them, listen,
right,
we need you on that broadcast.
No monkey business.
No monkey business, because these guys are going to be, I know them very well, and they're going to be off the charts if they win.
Well, I'll just tell them you don't want me to be the alarm clock.
Well,
that may be motivation enough.
Well, you know, they're both teachers too, or Chad Vischer's a pilot, but Ken Blaska's a teacher, so they're used to getting up early, I'm sure, both of them.
All right, out of the timeout, Portsmouth. We've seen goals from Rolfs, 2 from O'Neill. Here's another shot knocked away by Marston. Sophomore goaltender read that one well for Timberlane. However, Portsmouth gets to that ground ball behind the cage. Meanwhile, another drop pass forces Rolf to tiptoe that far sideline to keep it in play. He does, on a good effort, but nearly another avoidable mistake there almost led to a turnover. Meanwhile, Amend gets the step up top. Pass near side. Durkin took his eye off it. This one does end up out of bounds back over to the Owls.
Yeah, maybe some jitters there on Durkin's part. That was right in his stick. Just missed it.
We've seen that a few times here both ways in this first half. Some drop passes that have led to giveaways. Meanwhile, long outlet by Marston. He's going to free up his teammate Jack Noyes, who continues down the middle here. Now the pass taken along the near sideline, and Timberlane going to set up.
Yeah, Noyes and Lalim, they've got some speed, Nick. They can hustle down the field and make things happen. They're certainly making the Clippers defense more aware of them as they penetrate. But I like that.
Behind the cage, Eric George, junior attack, one of their top scorers during the regular season. This here is Braden Bowman, sophomore. Tries to get inside of two Portsmouth players. Took a hit. A flag flies. Recovered by Cam Noyes. Does a somersault. Far side, that's Jack Noyes trying to keep it in play. He does. Portsmouth just trying to touch this one up to draw the whistle. That's Myers on the inside position. He takes a shot up high from Cam Noyes.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
And now finally a whistle comes as Portsmouth does touch it up with just over 2 minutes gone by second quarter.
Yeah, pardon my frustration there, but you get possession there, Portsmouth, and you need to call that whistle there. A lot of roughhousing going on over there, but clearly Bowman took it right in the jaw, and that looks like it's going to be Myers going to the box. Probably unnecessary roughness here.
I think that's Zach Amend.
Is
the
it?
freshman, down on his right knee, having a word with Coach Vischer.
And that's going to be a cross-check, Nick.
That's also the second Portsmouth penalty of the game. We've not seen one yet against Timberlane. Good opportunity for the Owls to get within one. Special teams, they go right to work here, but they throw it away. Just a routine bounce pass. Got away from Kyle Shaw, who does recover unchallenged in that far corner. Clock ticking, though, on the EMO. George going to rifle a bullet that goes wide out of play here on the near side.
Wow. Kid's got some action on that shot. Good for him.
Clippers hoping to kill off this 30-second EMO. Owls cycle it back to the top. George steps down and fires and scores. Eric George, the junior, took advantage of some space up top. Fires a rocket from the 21-yard line or so to cash in and bring the Owls back within one at 3-2.
Yeah, and nice look there from Cam Noyes to the top of the box there to free up George. The kid has found his center there after shooting one wide the prior shot, and now he's got the Owls tied up here with a little bit of momentum going.
I think that was in the final seconds of that EMO.
Yeah, because that was an EMO because that was a 1 minute penalty. So yes, you're right.
So they capitalize on the EMO. Smith, meanwhile, won the face-off, lost it to Savage. Heidinger ended up with a shot for Portsmouth on the doorstep. It was sent back by Marston. The sophomore has been impressive between the pipes so far for Timberlane. It's a 1-goal difference. Portsmouth the lead and still the ball as they hustle to that ground ball with 3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Rolfs up top for Durkin. Far side for the freshman, Zach Amend. Once a one-on-one with Canzano, the defender. Up top, Durkin shot. Goes wide. That one had some gusto on it, but off target.
Yeah, and Durkin looks at his stick again. He has had some problems with his mesh and his stick and his strings. The last 3 games.
O'Neal one-handed.
In the crease.
Nearly snuck that in, but stepped in to the crease. It's back over to the Owls. Meanwhile, Marston going to leave the cage. Sophomore whips a long pass toward the far sideline. It's taken in. This is Jack Condon. Condon going to dash to the near side. Now goal line extended, goes behind the cage for Ethan Jerry. Timberlane a chance to tie, looking for their third straight goal. Jerry working on Wool, draws a second defender. That's Ingwerson. Reverses direction, then we get a whistle, and I believe a timeout from Coach Blaska. Yes, it is. Timberlane going to use their first timeout here with just over 4 minutes gone by second quarter. A chance to tie the game at 3.
Well, Brady Marston has been impressive, as we mentioned at the beginning of the game, as a key to Timberlane's success. And didn't see a ton of the 21 teams in Division II in their goaltenders, but we did see Marston and Finn Mason, the goaltender for Oyster River earlier this year.
Do battle, yeah.
To do battle. And Finn Mason is the All-State second teamer for Division II. And then just to throw this out there, because we were so impressed with Reno from Winnicott, he was the first team goaltender, and he has literally stood on his head in many of the battles that we did this season, and he's a quality goaltender.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned Mason, one of the Oyster River Award winners. Sophomore goaltender named to the Division II second team All-State. His teammate Amani Harvey also made that list. So did Sam Guillemette. Oyster River had a successful year. Of course, their head coach, Ruppy Haley, was named the D2 Coach of the Year.
And well-deserved.
Coach Joe Hansmeyer took that award of Bedford in Division I. Earlier today, the BG Cardinals wrapped up an undefeated season with a 9-7 D1 championship win over Exeter. A good game that was tied through three quarters. And Trinity, they took the D3 crown on the boys' side earlier this afternoon over Plymouth up in Laconia by a final of 9-6. This one, 3-2. Portsmouth scored the first three. Timberlane has scored the last two. A chance to tie things at 3 here as we move towards 5 minutes gone by second quarter.
Just a final comment about the goaltenders. Both Mason and the goaltender for Timberlane, sophomores.
Oh! Bouncing shot and score. Nate Vibber headed to Husson. They're getting a good player. How about this bouncer to tie the game at 3?
I love bounce shots. I just love them. I mean, look at where he places that ball. The only better bounce shot I've seen this year is Chaz Dean's shot against Portsmouth a couple of days ago, where he shot it and he basically hit the 15-yard line on the nose, and it went right upper corner. But man, that's a great shot by Nate Weber.
Another Portsmouth win at the X. Roger, Nick Smith 7 for 7.
Got it.
Clippers, though, reeling. Timberlane has scored 3 in a row. It's a game of runs. We know that. First 3 to Portsmouth. The next 3 to Timberlane, and that's where we are, tied with now 5 minutes gone by second quarter. Portsmouth looking to reestablish the lead with Rolfs behind the cage. Reversing direction to the far side, takes a body check. The Timberland defender, Lancelieve. Here's Durkin. Avoids a second defender, keeps it, goal line extended, backtracking towards that far sideline. And now O'Neill takes over from behind the cage. Portsmouth showing patience. The Timberlane crowd with a large student section who made their way over from Atkinson. They are chanting defense and stomping on the bleachers here in Bedford. Meanwhile, Durkin trying to draw that second slide. Portsmouth going to reverse it. Far side wing, O'Neill. Trying to probe the defense. Nowhere to go. Giving him plenty of space is the defender, Jaden Lee. Shot! Score! Sneaks that one in just underneath the crossbar. That is O'Neill's third of this first half.
Repeat. Last commentary on the prior goal. Another great bounce shot. He switches to his left hand and gives Michaelitis the look, Marston the look as if he's going low-high, and he just stays low, really low.
O'Neill 3 goals in this first half. Goal number 3 coming here at the midway point. Second quarter, it's a big one for Portsmouth. They go back out in front by 1. That also ends a 3-0 run by Timberlane. Meanwhile, Owls hoping for their first win at the face-off X. Portsmouth has gone 7 of 7. The freshman Nick Smith makes it 8 for 8. Quickly into action. O'Neill, shot from that far side post. No, foot race near corner is won by Heidinger. Good effort. Heidinger, quick restart, quick shot. Ends up wide left. That was Max Brown. The long stick midi with a free look there.
Max Brown will shoot. He will shoot. Give him a chance.
It's a first-team selection Based on his defense, though, right, Roger?
Yeah, but I mean, he snags balls. He initiates transition. He's left out there on the offensive side when they take possession. He's doing it all.
Longstick Midi, a second-team All-State selection.
Yeah.
I misspoke. Just past the midway point. Coming up with 5 minutes to go before halftime. Amend draws the second slide. Now Durkin with a short pass, trying to run out of a crowd to that far side. It's reverse near side wing. Amend makes his way middle, little jab step. Mulderry, eyes on the cage, nowhere to go. Good recovery by the Owl defense here. Portsmouth not forcing anything. Amend being chased by Cole Newman, the junior defender, wraps around. That shot ends up in the cage.
Wow.
What a shot by Zach Amend, the freshman, going airborne, a little twist down by the cage. Portsmouth now back out in front by 2, 5-3.
Wow, this kid just said, I'm going, stop me if you can, and he gets over goal line extended, goes a little airborne there, and he pockets it. The kid's got some speed coming from X. That's a great play.
Yeah. Freshman in control of his body as well. We see that natural athleticism on display down near the cage. Portsmouth a 5-3 lead. They've scored now the last 2 after the Owls had rattled off 3 unanswered. This one is loose, and Smith, another big freshman contributor for Portsmouth, comes up with another face-off win. He's 9 for 9 at the X in this first half.
Man, you don't normally see freshmen on the All-State list, but when they get to the sophomore year, you'll start seeing them, and I'm sure we're going to see both of them on a list or two next year.
All right, Portsmouth a chance to settle in, trying to reestablish a 3-goal lead. They led 3-0 late in the first quarter. Ooh, Myers, a little too aggressive on that feed behind X. It ends up out of bounds. O'Neill's best effort could not bring it in overhead, and this one turned over. Marston out of his cage, surveys, goes down the middle. This is Jack Noyes. Avoids a couple of swings there from O'Neill and crosses the 50. Now the Owls back on the attack after spending the majority of this second quarter on the defensive end, at least the last few minutes of this second quarter. See if the Owls' attack can shake off the rust here and cut this Portsmouth lead in half.
Yeah,
the lights are on here in Bedford. Sun starting to settle just past the 8 o'clock hour here on the East Coast.
Yeah, interesting. I was watching Max Brown, the LSM. He was in a drop ride there and basically just let Jack Noyes stroll right into the offensive side of the field. Very unusual.
Meanwhile, Jerry drawing 3 defenders. Tried to hook up with Jack Noyes, but the pass off target, and Peter Wool, the defender for Portsmouth, ends up with the ground ball. Clippers now trying to clear, and they will with Brown. Meanwhile, this pass dropped in the middle, taken away by Cam Noyes. And the Timberlane senior avoids a couple of hits. Hooks up with Gary Schivel, his freshman defender. Schivel in a sprint down that far sideline, and now a timeout is coming from Coach Blaska. It's called with 2:39 to go before halftime. Timberlane in possession, trailing by a score of 5-3.
Well, now we can see why Cam Noyes is on the All-State list as a second teamer. Great ground ball there, anticipates the hit coming, rolls away, and then accelerates and gets clear and initiates a good possession there for Timberlane at this point. Very impressed by his play so far.
A great crowd on hand. Student body represented by both schools, team colors, and again, coincidentally, these two teams have basically the same colors, black, white, and maroon. But there's a large contingent of fans who have come up from Atkinson to support the Timberlane Owls. Their student section off to our left, all on their feet They have been throughout this first half. They're all dressed in black. And I would say that the Owl fans outnumber the Clipper fans, although when I look to the right, I begin to have second thoughts. There's a lot of maroon and white who have made their way from the Seacoast as well. So it's about 50-50 here in Bedford, which is what we were hoping for with little to no extra capacity here tonight. What do you think, Roger?
Well, I've been I can't even tell you how many games I've been in this stadium. And this is as big a crowd as the Bulldogs have for football games sometimes. And I love what I'm seeing over on this left-hand side with the Timberlane student body. They they have filled up that entire stand area.
They're mobbing deep
with
for sure.
Students. So they got the student part outnumbered, I would say.
Yeah, they've been loud too. And the Owls, coming out of the timeout here, are going to throw one back towards midfield. Whistle, a little bit of a push there on the Owls, gives this over to Portsmouth. Now a flag flies from the weak side. Savage ends up in the end taking it away from Heidinger. But hang on here, there's a penalty, I believe, coming for the first time against Timberlane with 2:20 to go here in this first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this is. I would have done a little bit of play on there in Lacrosse where you can do that.
I wonder if it was off the ball.
Oh, was it?
Because the flag came from deep on that far side, while the action was here on the near side. Not sure, again, exactly what that call was.
Well, it's a legal procedure from what I saw at the table, and Savage is going to serve the penalty, but I'm not quite sure what the infraction was.
Yeah. Although Savage was the defender on the ball, so maybe it was an on-ball call. Either way, Savage in the box, coming up on 2 minutes to go in this first half. Portsmouth threatening to reestablish a 3-goal lead. They go up top, Amen near side wing. Durkin lets that fly, and it ends up wide of the mark, out of bounds. Stay with Portsmouth. Durkin looking for his first goal. Portsmouth has been led in this first half by Mike O'Neill, who has 3 goals. Durkin to the middle. That shot jammed up. Takes a bounce to that far corner. Again, will stay here.
Good collapse by Timberlane defensively there. And they're going to want to try and keep a long pole on Durkin most of the game.
Again, the chant of defense from the Timberlane fans. Final 90 seconds. Owls trying to keep the score where it is. Portsmouth hoping to double up their opponent by halftime. Smith from Amen fakes the shot, goes inside. Marston scoops that one up. Took it off the short hop, the goaltender. Saw that one the whole way. The sophomore now taking his time, coming out of the cage with 1:10 to go.
Big play there, Nick.
Yep.
Not an EMO goal or would have been an EMO goal, but great save.
There comes Cam Noyes. Down the middle shot from the near wing from George is a little off target. We're inside of a minute now. Second quarter. George nearly came up with number 2.
Boy, he reminds me of Tim Kiley from BG.
Good
About
call.
the same size.
Yeah.
Got a rifle of a shot. Finds his space.
Yep.
Good roll.
Spin move. This is Freeman. Gets inside and gets knocked down. This shot ends up wide. Foot race will keep it with Timberlane 37 seconds before halftime.
Yeah, pretty good offensive series here by Timberlane.
Yeah. Couple of shots. Pass down the middle. Broken up.
It's in the crease.
Yep.
Yeah.
You called it, Roger. The momentum of not Fitzpatrick, rather, but Vibber, who scored a moment ago, carried him into that circle. It's turned over to Portsmouth. Clippers now with 20 seconds to work. Mulderry avoids a check. Foot race to the far side. There's the pass over the top of the clear. Rolfs into the middle for Durkin. Durkin got a fire off the back foot. That one high and out of play. Out of bounds with just inside of 10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Fisher, I'm calling a timeout as soon as I hit the 50-yard line there and set something up.
Instead, they're going to play on. Down to 5 seconds. Amen going to jog near side corner and will not get a shot off. That'll do it. First half in the books. Portsmouth A 5-3 lead on the board as the Clippers closing in on their first ever Division II lacrosse championship. Although Timberlane, they can't be too unhappy either on where they are. I know they'd rather have the lead, but they've played well, and they're certainly within striking distance at the midway point. 5-3 Portsmouth.
Hey, you get 3 goals on this defense, and you're not a top-heavy offensive power, then you got to be walking away from this half with some happiness there. They just need to get more shots off. A lot of times their hands are getting tied up and they're not getting good quality shots. Portsmouth needs to get Mike Durkin corrected. They need to find out what's going on with that stick. He's had 3 shots that have just gone everywhere except either at the goalie or in the goal.
5-3 Portsmouth. Coming up, take a look back at that first half, a full recap, some statistics for you as well. Plus, we'll revisit the D1 championship, a 9-7 BG Cardinal win over Exeter. And we preview, of course, the second half coming up as well. We're at the midway point here in Bedford. Portsmouth leading the D2 title game by a score of 5-3. We're back in just a moment. You're watching coverage of the 2021 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division II Championship game here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. The New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school varsity and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
Halftime here in Bedford. Portsmouth, a 5-3 lead over Timberlane. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Division II championship. Clippers, 17-1 coming into the game, and they looked like it in the early moments of that first quarter. They scored the first 3 goals of the game as Dylan Rolfs cashes in, followed by 2 from Michael O'Neill. That was 3-0 late in that first quarter, but Timberlane's Ryan Freeman able to beat the buzzer and put the Owls on the board with less than a second to go in that first quarter to make it 3-1 Portsmouth after 1. Then the Owls rode the momentum. Eric George, Nate Vibber tied the game at 3. It's about midway through the second quarter, but the final 6 minutes of the first half belong to Portsmouth as O'Neill nets his third goal of that first half, followed shortly afterwards by Zach Amend, the freshman. And that's where we are at the midway point, Roger. 5-3 in favor of Portsmouth. We take a look at those numbers from the first half. Pretty even, except for what's happened at the face-off X, where Portsmouth's Nick Smith has dominated to the tune of 9-0.
Yes, he has, and that's going to be a big factor in the long run here because Timberlane needs to have the ball, and they need to settle it, and they need to have some good, long offensive sets where they can actually get good quality shots on net. They've got to get Portsmouth's defense moving a little more, and as we've said in the prior game today, that means ball control and skill. You've got to be able to do that to get the defense to actually move. And they started to do that a little bit. They got they came out and they broadened the offense a little bit, and they were looking to make moves on the corners, but they couldn't move the ball on the perimeter, and thus they did not see success there. But watch, my key to the second half for Timberlane is watch Eric George. He had 3 goals in that Oyster River game. This guy's got a rocket for a shot, and if they can find him space to get his hands free, he could make a big difference in getting them over the top here in the second half.
Not to continue to harp on that face-off X, but what do you do if you're Ken Blaska? How do you make an adjustment? Because you can't win the game without winning a face-off, correct?
I hate to keep referring back to Bishop Girton and D1 and Coach Cameron, but I can remember he had the luxury of having some really good face-off men, from Blake Boudreau to Jack McNallen to Christian Trahan. These guys were dominant. In the years where he didn't have that, he'd put 2 poles on the wing. He would stick a shorty on the attack end, or on the on the defensive end, that is, and he would put 2 long poles out there and just knock those guys out or get poles in on the scrum and just tell his face-off guy, just clamp the ball. Clamp the ball and tie the other guy
So
out.
perhaps an adjustment coming on the wings in this second half, maybe, from Timberlane.
I mean, if you don't have guys that are true face-off players that know the technique, that know what the rules are, that know you can't do a motorcycle grip anymore, that know the crouch, you don't want to just throw somebody out there. You've got to do reparations on what you can control, and that is going to be the wing play.
Well, we get a violation on the first face-off of the second half. It goes against Timberlane, and they give the freshman Nick Smith his 10th victory at X for Portsmouth. Nighttime starting to take effect here in Bedford. Lights have been on for a while now and becoming more and more necessary. A great crowd, great weather for a championship game here in mid-June. O'Neill from the near side. O'Neill, the high scorer so far, with 3 goals for Portsmouth. Mike Durkin kept off the scorer sheet in that first half, trying to make a move middle. Rolfs over the top. Mulderry, a shot denied by Marston. Sophomore goaltender looked pretty good in that first half. Able to line up that bouncer easily. Now after a moment, finds a man here in the middle. That's Vibber. Vibber, one of 3 Owl goals in that first half. Able to power his way through a crowd here. Kept the ball alive in his stick, over his head. And now draws a flag on that far side wing against Portsmouth.
Yeah, it's going to be amend. The slash, one-handed check up around the head.
Timberlane did score on one of 2 EMO opportunities in that first half.
Boy, and if I'm Timberlane, I just play for the best shot you can here. There's no reason to rush the ball. You can go double dip here and get right back in this game really quick if you play smart lacrosse. And they're in circle right now, which is okay. Now you got to beat somebody on the corners here.
Noyes looking for a step, dropped his stick.
Go, good play.
Ball comes out and then touched up here with 2 minutes gone by third quarter.
We have a flag here.
Yep.
Okay, she's pointing the other direction, but that's okay.
All right, we knew it was against Portsmouth. Question was who?
I think it's Amend.
Yeah, you call it, Roger. Amend is the man heading to the box in the freshman award with Coach Vischer.
And that's a good penalty. I mean, there is no good penalty, but that is a penalty. What he did was a penalty.
So a good call.
Yes.
Some rare praise for the officials.
You caught me.
From Roger Howe.
You caught me in a tongue twister. And lack of brain power there after. Yeah, I'm getting. No.
There's another drop pass. Unfortunately, that's been a trend for both teams tonight as well. And this one ends up as a turnover as Murphy gets to it for Portsmouth. Gets the pass off, takes a shot, draws a flag behind the play. Another flag ahead of the play. This pass gets ahead of the intended target, Heidinger, and out of bounds. It'll stop the clock with 2.5 gone by. So I believe 2 different penalties are on the way here against Timberlane.
Unnecessary roughness, and looks like it's going to be on number 19. Mr. Perez.
That's Braden Paris, sophomore defender.
I take that back. Paris was the first one off the field. But
that's also Cam Noyes. Yeah,
Noyes.
Cam Noyes is in the box. And down on his right knee next to Ken Blaska. So some penalties already factoring in here with 2.5 gone in the second half. Smith, underhand pass, Amend, sends it near side for Rolfs, back up top and around the horn it goes. Far side wing for Durkin. Pull it out, a little more space. Durkin, far side wing, over the top now, near side for Amend. Up top for Smith, thought about it, little jab step. Now Durkin going to jog back middle. Throws it far side for Smith, drops it down, Heidinger. Looking for a second defender. Instead, they reverse it. Durkin thought about it, trying to muscle his way now, does draw a slide, near side for Rolfs, back up top for Amend. Little two-man game here on the near side. Little probing step, defense staying disciplined. Up top, Durkin. Nowhere to go, would Shivel the defender right on him. Durkin far side, tries to bring Shivel with him. Portsmouth reverses, back near side. Amend up top, surveys Smith. Now Durkin steps into a shot. That one goes wide. Out of play, it's backed up by Rolfs. It'll stay with Portsmouth.
Even strength, and that really was not a good EMO. Not a lot of movement on the corners. They stayed 3-3 that entire set with no movement, no rotations.
Owls will take it as the defense uses or works together to produce that stop, and now they produce a turnover. The long pole, Joe Shivel, comes up with the ground ball. Shivel going to ride it along that far sideline. Gets the pass off despite the best efforts of the Portsmouth defender, Amend. Meanwhile, another flag. Pass in the middle, tipped and into the goal for a score. Some friendly fire there as a Portsmouth defender got a piece of that, redirected it into the net for a Timberlane goal. That was Ingwerson trying to deny the feed for George, and it backfired on the senior.
Yeah, looks like that's going to go to Cam Noyes, who is fresh out of the box. And you don't see that too often. And that penalty flag is going to be put back in the pocket because that was going to be a hold out there on not sure who the defender was there, but clearly a hold and a great turn of events here.
Well, we got a one-goal game, Roger, as we now move inside of 4 minutes gone by, third quarter. Owls looking for their first face-off win. Can they get it? Still elusive at midfield. It's kicked up the field by Paris. Paris now looking for an inside track. He's joined by his teammate Canzano. The ball is finally whistled out of bounds, and they give it to Timberlane. So after Portsmouth won the first 10 face-offs, the Owls, after a lengthy ground ball battle, come up with it and now have a chance to tie the game at 5.
Yeah, my error on that goal, that was Braden Bowman. I get some stories about his older brother Michael, who used to play here at Timberlane. A great kid. I coached him in Tomahawks. Another attackman. Kid's got spunk. His younger brother has got it too. Good play.
So officially Bowman given credit for that last goal. And Timberlane is within 1. We head towards the midway point, third quarter. This is Freeman.
He took a beating on that, Nick.
Yeah. Beat the first quarter buzzer to put Timberlane on the board initially. Takes another shot here by Myers along the near side. And now they drop it back for Bowman, who's going to take a trot deep behind the cage. Wool, the long stick defender, closing ranks. Spin move, Bowman. Far side, fights his way. Middle is shut down by Michaelitis at the goal. A nice job by the Portsmouth goalkeeper, Skylar Michaelitis, the junior. Brought the fight to Timberlane and forced the turnover. Now, off the clear, it's Rolfs. Looking to maneuver along that far side wing. A little give and go with Heidinger. Rolfs going to backtrack. And we're going to hit the midway point, third quarter, with Portsmouth in possession, leading by 1, 5-4.
Yeah, Coach Fisher is definitely going to want to slow things down here and get this crazy pace that is causing turnovers and transition down to a point where he can control the offense.
The Owl student section chanting defense. Durkin down the middle, lost the ball. Picked up off the scoop by a men for Portsmouth. They'll keep it here. O'Neal, centering feed, rejected by Marston. What a save there by the sophomore. Pass on the money. Danny Bottrell on the doorstep. Marston a step quicker. Keeps it at 5-4.
Wow. I think that hit his elbow. I think he got his arms up just in time and that hits his elbow.
Came back into the play at the last split second.
Yeah.
Portsmouth, though, enjoying a lengthy trip here. Down to 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
Well, Marston's earning his meal ticket today.
Yeah.
Michaelitis hasn't seen the same amount of action. But, boy, Marston.
This pass is off target and it ends up with George. Owls a chance to tie. George streaking down the near side is going to take it behind the cage.
Smart play.
I'm sure initially he was thinking shot there, Roger, but thought better of it as that play developed.
Yeah, Ingerson was right there hustling back. Another D2 first teamer. Made the difference there.
Another errant pass, though, is going to cost Timberlane. Turned over and back over to Portsmouth. Seen a few errant passes both ways here, some dropped passes as well. Meanwhile, big hit. Amend goes tumbling down. The ball ends up loose in the corner, and it's going to stay with Portsmouth.
Boy, and that was a transition play that they got a quick whistle. Portsmouth brings it down quickly. They actually had a little bit of a numbers advantage, but Timberlane gets back and swarms on them, and they just are coming back hard.
Yeah, good pursuit. Good hustle to get back in the play. Meanwhile, it's O'Neal. The game's high score with 3 goals. Nowhere to go here on the near side wing. Pulls it way back out for Myers. Now wants a running start. Myers avoids a hit from Cam Noyes. Brings him to the far side wing. We're inside of 4 minutes, third quarter. Myers still with it. Crosses back outside the 30.
Coach Fisher taking a page out of Coach Hetler's book from the sets from the other day, going into a 1-4 here, driving from behind, driving from the wings. We saw that definitively by the Cougars.
Rolfs against Jerry Shivel. Shivel cracks him, forces the loose ball, but draws a penalty flag.
Yeah, watch the the face mask.
Timberlane crowd not happy. You hear the boos from the Owls section of this crowd.
Now, the ref was right there, 2 yards away?
The official's talking now.
That's Steve Small on the call right there.
Well, Roger, what are you allowed to get away with?
When you come up anywhere near the head on any check, whether it's in the front of the body or the rear of the body, and you make contact with the face mask or the head and you see the head snap back, it's either unnecessary roughness or it's going to be a slash, depending upon the positioning of the hands.
So the chest is okay, but the head and neck area is off limits.
That is correct. And you have to be down on the chest enough that you're not going to get called for a cross-check, and even without head contact.
All right, so Portsmouth on the EMO. Clippers yet to cash in on the EMO despite, 3 different penalties against Timberlane.
Yes.
This one coming with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pass over the top, floated out of bounds. And a little too strong for Portsmouth's Paterson, who could not catch back up with it. So now Timberlane, a chance to clear from their own end, shorthanded. Savage launches this one down the middle of the field. Nobody home at the other end. George, good hustle near side, but can't get there. And this one back over to the Clippers.
Well, your best man-down defense is a turnover.
Yeah.
And they just threw that advantage away with that long pass that they did not need to do.
Yeah. Seemed a little rush there. And well, the result not what Coach Blaska was looking for. Portsmouth by 1, 5-4. Myers, shot and score. Not Myers, rather, but Zach Amend. That is number 2 for the freshman. The first goal of this second half for the Clippers, and they're back out in front by 2, 6-4.
Yeah, I'm going to see this replay here, so I get the call right. But yes, no defensive pressure on Amend at all. Communication error at the top of the box. No slide coming up to greet Mr. Amend, and you cannot leave him alone by himself anywhere on the field, never mind 15 yards out.
Face-off win for Nick Smith. The freshman's been dominant. What do you got now, Roger?
I got 11-0.
11-0? Or 11-1?
11-1, I'm sorry. Yep, there's the little stick person.
Either way, a dominant performance by Smith so far. Similar to what we saw in the D1 championship early this afternoon when J.J. Murphy went, 18-2, I think, at the X for BG in that win.
Yeah, that was just a ridiculous performance. I don't know how you stop that kid either.
This one loose. Great play, one-handed by the long pole, Joe Schivel. The defender still with it, trying to navigate back to the middle. Taken over by Canzano, and now the Owls with 100 seconds to go in this third quarter. Trying to cut this Portsmouth lead in half.
And they need to play good high IQ lacrosse here.
There's a shot. Double teamed on the near wing. Vibber let it rip anyway.
Yeah, I don't know why you even take that shot. Matthews was coming in off the bench. He was a late comer to the party, and you don't know where that backup's going to be.
Right. Fortunately for Timberlane, Jerry was in that back corner. This one loose out in front. Big scrum. Ball goes skyward. Loose on the doorstep. Michaelitis trying to find it. Comes up with it. Heads up play by the netminder there. A big stop for Portsmouth. And now the Clippers trying to get it out of their own end here as we hit 1 minute remaining third quarter. Rolfs hit on the pass, ends up off target. Scooped up by Myers, though, as the junior comes to the rescue. Myers now feeds it near side for Rolfs, drops it down for O'Neal. Fakes a pass, goal line extended near side, looks up top, has a man, and Men takes a hit. Nearly lost his footing, keeps the ball, though, and pulls it back out for Portsmouth. One more chance here. Looks like the Clippers want the final shot as we hit 30 seconds to go, third quarter.
Yeah, and I don't worry about a timeout or anything here. You just go ahead and run your plays.
Amend.
1-3-2 set.
Spins right. The freshman fires that one. Ball deflected. Goes way up in the air. Where is it? That's Savage. Comes down with it for Timberlane behind the cage. Final 10 seconds, third quarter. Savage loses his footing. Two players take a tumble on that far sideline, and what's this? It's back over to Portsmouth.
Yeah, I think he stepped out over there.
6 seconds. Clippers need to hurry. Smith lets it rip. That one wide with 2 seconds to go. And this one not backed up by Portsmouth. So Savage for Timberlane will put it in play. Heaves it the length of the field. That one is on net. Broken up by Michaelitis, and that is going to do it. 3 quarters in the bag here, the D2 championship. Portsmouth is almost there. The Clippers in search of their first Division II boys lacrosse championship ever. They've got a 2-goal lead on the board heading into quarter number 4. Will it be Timberlane's night, or will the Owls slip on the glass slipper and complete the Cinderella story? We begin to find out next. You're watching coverage of the 2021 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division II State Championship here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. It's presented by Beals Insurance, and it's live only on the NFH Network and NFHnetwork.com.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Bedford. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you from Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance. Broadcasting live only on NFHsNetwork.com. The D2 title game, Portsmouth, 17-1 coming in. They have never trailed here tonight. Led at 1.3-0. At halftime, 5-3. After 3, out in front, 6-4. Timberlane, though, right where they need to be. Within striking distance with 12 minutes remaining.
Yeah, if they can clean up their stick handling and their unforced errors, get a few quality shots where they're not getting through the defense, they are going to see some success. But all in all, I'm very impressed by their defense. They're holding Portsmouth in check. Marston is having a game, and let's see if he can continue to do that in this fourth quarter.
Huge advantage for the Clippers at the face-off X.
12-1 now.
12-1. Meanwhile, Amend, who has scored twice for Portsmouth, able to break the pressure down the middle, and now the Clippers setting up on the attack here to begin quarter number 4. A gorgeous night here in southern New Hampshire. Lights are on, fully dark now here on the East Coast.
5 days of 90-degree weather, and then 63, I think, was the high yesterday.
Yeah.
And just a gorgeous, gorgeous day today. Only thing that beats the weather today is 2 lacrosse games.
Had a doozy in that D1 final earlier. BG held off Exeter for a 9-7 win. First title for the Cardinals since 2017. And by the way, Trinity, they won the D3 championship earlier up in Laconia by beating Plymouth 9-6.
Well,
so BG, Trinity, and either Portsmouth or Timberlane, we'll find out here soon, will be in the winner's circle come tomorrow morning.
What a story for Trinity to beat the first place finisher in the standings, Campbell, which was a powerhouse this year. Beat them early in the playoff run and basically wins faceoffs to get to the finals.
Yeah.
It was their face-off game that was very, very dominant for them.
Strong all year, too, for Trinity.
Yeah.
Even in that Campbell game, which we covered, Trinity had won the face-off battle against the Cougars.
Yeah, they did.
Is it the Cougars? Campbell?
Campbell, good question. I'll have to. Now you caught me off guard.
Shot score, Mike Durkin. Well, how about that? Been waiting to call his name. The prolific goal scorer finally cashes in here with less than 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. And Portsmouth has reestablished their largest lead now at 7-4.
You know, I take pride in my keys to the game, and when I see Mike Durkin finally score, it kind of validates my thoughts about him. He's had a tough night shooting the ball. I think that's actually his first shot on net. And it pays off, and he tallies one up. Good for Michael.
Yeah.
And
Smith, another win at the X. It's been dominant. As we talked about now, 13 of 14. All right, Meyer's going to slow it down. A member of this talented and deep junior class for Portsmouth. She's really been the backbone of this team, according to Coach Vischer. Owls looking for a stop. The crowd trying to give them a boost. Over the middle rolls, jammed up on the shot. Shot flies out of bounds behind the cage. It'll stay with O'Neal and the Clippers.
Yeah, that's Jaden Lee pursuing the ball and getting his stick right on the hands after the shot.
Lee on his way to Riviere. Meanwhile, shot here from Amend is wide. And out of play. Again, it'll stay with the Clippers. Rolfs, far side. O'Neal charging the net. Lost it on that low shot. Marston sold out to deny that far post. In the end, it stays with Portsmouth anyway. The Clippers will keep it here. Already 3 minutes gone by in this fourth quarter.
Still seeing a little bit of
pass out in front of end. Kick saved by Marston. Another ground ball, though, to the Clippers. Unofficially, Roger, I say the Clippers have probably had that advantage as well, right? The ground balls?
Yes, they have, and I don't have a total count for you out there, but,
Unofficially.
Unofficially, yes. Oh!
Wrap around.
That's it? No,
nope. Stepped in. Amend looking for the hat trick. Had his toe on the line. And a good call by the official to wave that one off immediately.
Yeah, Sean Riley, experienced ref, is actually an attackman by trade. Doesn't like giving up goals like that if he doesn't have to. And he made the right call there.
Yeah.
No question.
Yeah, it's been a well officiated game. You mentioned Sean Riley. How about Kevin Durhock, another veteran official? Robin Day down there with Steve Small. I mean, these are names that we've been saying all year long.
Yes. Yeah, good to see Robin Day. First female referee that I can remember in a championship game. And Kevin Durhock, I mean, Kevin's put his time in. He started off in the youth ranks way back, a Londonderry resident, and has earned his way to a D2 final. Good for him.
Meanwhile, last shot there by Jerry across the body, out of play. It will stay with Timberlane. Owls trying to get back in the game. 4 minutes already gone, fourth quarter. The 3-goal deficit is the largest of the night. Jack Noyes trying to bring the defender Max Brown to that far side. Brown has clamped down on him pretty well all night. Meanwhile, George, 1 goal to his credit, came back in the second quarter. Deep behind the net, going to make a charge at Myers. Comes near side, takes a hit from Myers. Bounce pass up top. Freeman a shot, denied by Michaelitis down low. Well, Michaelitis read that one the whole way, the junior, with a stop low. Clippers now trying to clear it from their own end. They'll do so with Brown. Brown, the long pole, going to come middle. Sets up Rolfs on that far wing, and here come the Clippers again on the attack. 5 minutes gone by now, fourth quarter. The clock's starting to become a factor.
Yeah, and George got the matchup he wanted. Fast attackman with a shorty behind at X, and the defense slid to him goal line extended. He had to get rid of it.
Durkin being prodded. By the defender near side. That's Joe Shevel. Pass momentarily got away from O'Neal. He recovers, goal line extended. Goes across, up top, Durkin. 15-yard shot is wide. And out of play. It'll stay here as we approach the midway point, fourth quarter.
Well, Durkin's starting to feel it there, but again, shot the ball wide. Good cluster here by Portsmouth on the crease, keeping the defenders honest, keeping them moving, keeping them guessing.
Meanwhile, Timberlane starting to press out here a little bit, Roger. With the clock starting to become a factor down to 6 minutes.
Yeah, unnecessary evil you have to do at this point. You get down to that 5-minute mark, and you're down by even 2. You want to start doing that. That's going to be a turnover.
Well, forcing the issue was Joe Shevel. Makes a nice pass off the back foot. And now down the middle, Doug Lansalive. Lansalive gets rid of it. Bowman fakes a pass right, keeps it himself, open. Spins right, split dodge, and scores! I'm not sure if that was a shot or not. It seemed like it flew out of his stick. And either way, got the desired result there for the Owls. They're back within 2 at 7-5.
This is called a dodge shot. You try to do a swim move. You get your stick checked. The head of your stick is facing the goal plane and floats in. but it counts. Give Bowman number 2.
So Bowman has scored to open up the second half.
So, Nick, look at
Scores the
Savage.
first goal here for Timberlane at 7-5 in this fourth quarter. Sorry, Roger.
No, my mistake. Look at Billy Savage. We talked about this earlier. He's now on the wing.
Yep.
We saw him at LSM many times. And let's see what they can do here. They got to get the ball.
Didn't make a difference there as Portsmouth gets another. 14 of 15 now for the Clippers at the X. Meanwhile, Savage knocks down Heidinger, who recovers quickly. To his credit, back on his feet, but the pass broken up on the far side by Canzano. Clippers, though, able to regroup on that far side wing, now go behind the cage for O'Neal. Rolfs now tiptoeing that far sideline as we head towards 5 minutes to go, fourth quarter.
You know, this is where Nick Smith's skill at the faceoff X works. You know, Billy Savage is on the defensive side of the wing. And what does Nick Smith do? He pops it to the defensive side.
Amend with a bouncing shot. This kid is putting on a show. The freshman with excellent placement. He now has 3 goals in the game, a hat trick, 2 of those since halftime. And again, Portsmouth enjoying a 3-goal lead at 8-5.
Well, he had Cole Newman, the short stick defender for Timberlane, tied right up in a twirl. He had no idea where Amend had gone. He turns around and goes into his left hand and hits pay dirt. Amend has really poured it on in the last 4 or 5 games of the season, Nick.
He's gotten better every time we've seen him, seemingly. And as you said, one of the standouts in that 6-4 win over Derryfield back in the semifinals Wednesday night. Scored 3 times tonight, who along with Michael O'Neal have led the scoring for Portsmouth. They're out in front now, 8-5. And a timeout has been called here by who? I think Coach Blaska of Timberlane, right?
Yeah, Timberlane timeout.
So that'll leave us with less than 5 minutes to go here in regulation. 8-5 Portsmouth.
Time for 2 poles on the wing, in my opinion. Get Savage up there. Maybe even put a pole in the face-off X. I don't know if Timberlane has a guy that's skilled in that area, but they have got to do something to gain possession quickly. And stop this run here. 1-goal run, but maybe just stop Amend for a little while here while he's riding high.
Or again, I hate to keep harping on it, but the face-off X.
Well, yeah. I mean, what I said. Put a guy there.
How do you stop Smith? How do you increase your odds? I mean, you can't expect to realistically win a game when you lose 14 of 15 at the X, right?
No. I mean, that's been the key. That's why I say maybe it's time for you to put 2 poles up here. Maybe even put a pole on the X, as I said, and see what you can do to mix it up. It might be a little bit too late for that, quite honestly.
Yeah.
It might be a little too late for that. That move is almost something you want to do maybe at the turn of the half. Because you know you're losing badly at the X, and you got to put something in right away that kind of disrupts that run. But right now it's survival. I mean, you got to figure a way to get this ball into your owl sticks.
Timberlane now facing 2 enemies, the Clippers and the clock, with 4:51 to go. Time now a factor here in this fourth quarter. Here's the long pole at the X. Roger, you are a prophet. For sure.
I'm going to tell you.
Savage going to take on Smith here. 1 pole in that far wing as well. A short stick here on the near side for Timberlane.
Let's see what he can do.
Listen to this crowd.
Loving it.
The chant of Let's Go Owls, accompanied by the feet stomping. Smith, who's been almost untouchable for Portsmouth, gets inside of Savage. Can't quite scoop it. Takes a hit, and there's the long pole on that far side of the rescue, Joe Shivel.
Now notice what Savage did, though. He lost the clamp, he lost the pop, but he got the trail check on him, loosened the ball up, get the other long pole in there to get it. That's the advantage of doing that.
Here's a hit on the catch. Shakes Vibber off the spot. Vibber lost the ball. It's still loose. Vibber bending over, trying to come up with it there. Players on the ground. And it's Vibber ultimately who has it for Timberlane.
Oh, don't want to do this.
Going to spin against Myers. Lost his footing. Myers hacking, and now Myers with it for Portsmouth. A whistle. And what's this?
This is going to be
A flag at the 41-yard line.
Yeah. And let's see here. I got my eye on Steve Small. It's going to be a slash.
Against Myers.
Yep.
So Keegan Myers, one of these talented juniors, into the box for Portsmouth with 4 minutes and change remaining. Good opportunity for the Owls to get back within 2.
You have got to put this in the net. Got to put it in the net.
They'll start from the far side wing. They swing to the near side. They go behind the cage. This is Shaw. Two-man game with Bowman. Shaw. You got George up top. Noyes swung near side. Bowman back for Shaw. George off the screen. Going to fire and score. They're going to wave it off. They say no goal. A moving screen, I believe, against the Owls' Cam Noyes.
Wow, I'm hoping Ben can bring that back up for us.
Meanwhile, Portsmouth a quick clear the other way. Clippers take us inside of 4 minutes. Their 3-goal lead still intact at 8-5. Here's the replay, by the way, from a moment ago, coming off that screen there. Noyes knocked to the ground.
Yeah.
I thought they got him for a moving screen, but Roger disagrees.
I want to see it again. I want to see where his feet are.
Yep.
It's just like basketball.
Yep.
I think he had position.
I agree.
don't know.
Durkin a wraparound. Is this one in?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Mike Durkin, his second goal of the game, his second goal of the second half, and Portsmouth trying to crack this one open late. They've got their first 4-goal lead of the game on the board at 9-5.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker right there to be man up and have a goal called back. Yeah, I definitely want to see that again.
Yeah, they have one called back, and then they give one up seconds later.
Yeah,
a tough 1-2 punch there, and Timberlane down 4 for the first time tonight.
Yeah, that's the upside down world of a double-double. No, don't like it. I'm sorry. In my humble opinion.
Of course. Smith, another win for Portsmouth.
Boy, Smith, he's got some technique, Nick, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Very in control for a freshman.
He just avoids the trail check altogether.
Yeah.
He pops it behind him.
Clippers going to turn it over, though. That one away from Ingwerson. Senior couldn't pull it in low. Owls trying to fight the clock. Bowman, the restart. Bowman going to bring Ingwerson towards the net. Spin away from a second defender. Try and power up a shot near post. Knocked down, whistle. And he stepped inside that circle, I think, and back over now to the Clippers.
Yeah, his momentum carried him in, even though he had almost a triple team on him, including the goalie there.
Inside of 3 minutes. Portsmouth trying to put the cherry on the championship sundae. A men down the middle. And now the number one task for this Clipper squad, Roger, run some clock here as we move towards 2 minutes.
Yep. Get it in the box, get it behind. Those two things. There's the box, there's the behind.
Yep, Rolfs deep behind cage.
Get a helper back there, boys.
Pass dropped on the wing. Turned over to Timberlane.
Not
good job by the long pole Paris to scoop it up for the Owls. Goes back middle. This is Lee. Lee avoids a second man at midfield. Comes up with the clear. We move inside of 2 minutes remaining. And now a timeout, I believe, has been called by Ken Blaska. That's the final Timberlane timeout. It comes with 1:57 remaining in this fourth quarter. Portsmouth still with a big lead on the board, 9-5.
Yeah, I think that timeout came before the touch, too. So let's make sure that Timberlane actually gets a touch here when they get possession at the whistle. Yeah, a lot of things got to happen here for 4 goals in less than 2 minutes. Tough to make that happen. Tough to make that happen.
Reminder, after the game, a complete recap. We'll get you the final statistics, plus the trophy presentation from down on the field as well that comes your way live after the game here on Friday Night Lights New Hampshire and the NFHSnetwork.com. Nick Anastas, Roger Howe with you. Championship Saturday. BG, the Division I champs. They took care of Exeter 9-7 in that championship earlier today here in Bedford. And in Division III, Trinity They topped Plymouth by a final of 9-6. That game was up in Laconia.
Yeah, no messing around there on that timeout between Timberland's offense and defense. They separated them out. Defensive coordinators talking to the defense, and Coach Blaska talking just to the offense and telling them, hey, we got to capitalize on this. They're going to run a play.
Let's see what Coach drew up. Down to a minute 45. Timberlane's got to hurry. Pass off target. It ends up with the goaltender Michaelitis behind his own net.
Yeah, that was a play that he drew up. They wanted to get it down to the wing, coming up from GLE, and just a bad pass.
Clippers clear it. Fitzpatrick past the 50. The long pole defender helped out from Coach Vischer on the sideline as the Clippers call for time with a minute 25 remaining. Portsmouth closing in on their first ever Division I Boys Lacrosse Championship, out in front 9-5. Division II, of course. Excuse me.
Well,
they've been in this spot before. We talked about it in the recent past, right? 2017, 2018.
Yep. Yeah, against Derryfield.
And way back, well, not way back, but about a decade or so ago, they were in the hunt in D3 as well.
They were, and they lost also in the semifinals 2019 to Winnicott. So they've been in the mix. They've climbed the tower, haven't quite gotten to the top. But
and how about the road to get here? In this 21-team tournament, they drew Winnicott in the first round. Winnicott, of course, on the short list. The only team to beat Portsmouth this season, which came in the final week of the regular season. They had to turn right around and face them a third time, this time in a do-or-die round one situation. They survive the Warriors. Then they have to play four-time defending champion Derryfield in the semifinals. They handled the Cougars the other night 6-4 and now have led throughout this championship game and are on the verge of closing out the Timberlane Owls 9-5.
Yeah, with the exception of Spalding in the preliminary rounds, they've had a tough road.
Yeah.
Like you said, Winnicott, Oyster River.
That's right.
In the quarters, and then Derryfield in the semis. You got to beat the best, right? And they've done
the best to be the best, and that's certainly how it looks right now with a minute 19 remaining. However, still some time to go here. Rolfs. Savage comes over on the slide, knocks it loose. Timberlane has it for the moment. Now they will escape with it. It's Paris, far sideline, runs out of room, tries to keep it inbounds after he lost it.
Successful double team by Timberlane between Savage and Shivel, but then good pursuit by the Clippers to get it back.
Yep. Shivel ends up running out of room. Final 50 seconds. Rolfs takes a pop, lost it. Savage on the move. The future Lemoyne Dolphin across the 50. Comes middle. This is Freeman. Freeman, shake and bake. Avoids a couple of hits at the 35. Leaves it far side. Here comes Matthews. Shot and score! With 30 seconds remaining, Timberlane senior Nick Matthews says, hang on. Celebration hasn't started just yet. It's 9-6.
Yeah, the Timberlane's answer to Alex Karpowicz. Big boy out there. And he came down the pike. He's bigger than Karpowicz. Yes, I'll give you that. But
he may be bigger than Steve Beals.
Wow, can Steve Beals run and shoot?
I don't. Maybe back in the day.
Yeah,
he could hit. Right, we know that.
Good for Matthews.
Meanwhile, Matthews seemingly a crowd favorite. Great placement on that shot there. So Timberlane trying to finish strong. They're within 3 now at 9-6. Another face-off for Smith. He's won all but 2 for Portsmouth. Loses this one as Shivel ends up with it. But another errant pass ends up out of bounds near sideline with just 20 seconds to go. So Portsmouth has it. Heidinger puts it in play. The senior trying to outrun the clock and bring home the championship.
Oh,
Instead, Coach Fisher wants one more timeout, gives a fist pump over there on that Portsmouth sideline with 10 seconds remaining. Well, why not? Soak it up. I guess the idea here with the timeout, make sure everybody's ready for what's about to happen here, and that, of course, is a championship celebration.
Well, certainly, Coach Fisher, experienced coach, you take this time to look your players in the eye and you say, you guys did a great job today. Soak it up, just like you said. Enjoy every second of what you're about to experience.
Don't do anything stupid here either.
Don't do anything, maybe not stupid, but certainly remember your sportsmanship as you leave this field tonight.
Right.
And we do not want to have any blemishes on our program because we worked hard to get here. It's taken a long time for this program to get to this level, and that's what's going to happen. On the other side, Coach Blaska is probably telling his boys the same thing, with a little negative overtone, obviously, being sullen about where they stand right now. But two classy coaches, and I'm sure they're going to leave this field with some class as well.
13 seconds to go as they add 3. We were at 9-9, now we're at 12-9. But still just a game of cat and mouse here as Portsmouth looks to run out the clock.
Looks like they put some time on the clock there, a couple seconds.
Timberlane's not going to challenge here either. So this is going to do it. The Portsmouth Clippers, for the first time, are the kings of Division II as they capture their first state championship in school history. The Clippers, kings of the Division II landscape in 2021 as they celebrate here in Bedford following a 9-6 championship win over Timberlane.
And look at them come on the field, coaching staff included.
In a full sprint.
Not a better feeling in the world.
Yeah. So Portsmouth, they celebrate. I think Chad Vischer is in that mix somewhere.
He's going to get hoisted.
He got swallowed up.
Oh, they were trying to get him up on the shoulders
by his players. Yeah, he's down there now. I see him. Athletic Director Tom Kozlowski made the trip over, of course, from the Seacoast. He's down there. Great guy, by the way. He's down there enjoying things. So Portsmouth, they get it done. They lead wire to wire. Timberlane gave him a fight. But in the end, it's Portsmouth 9-6 in this Division II championship game. We'll be back to recap, get you all the stats, plus the trophy presentation on the way. You're watching coverage of the 2021 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division II championship game here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance in conjunction with the NFHS Network.
Our broadcast today, as it always is brought to you by Beals Insurance Agency, with locations now in both Bedford and Londonderry. Whether you need home, auto, or business insurance, Beals Insurance will get you both the price and quality coverage that's right for you. Just call 603-471-9999 or visit BealsInsurance.com to request a free quote and start saving money today. Again, that's BealsInsurance.com. The New Hampshire Tomahawks promote the highest level of club lacrosse competition, not just in the state, but in the country. Looking to get recruited? Director Chris Cameron keeps an open dialogue with the nation's top college lacrosse coaches. Over 400 New Hampshire Tomahawks alumni have played at the college level, including the ACC, Big East, Big Ten, Ivy, NESCAC, NE10, and more. New Hampshire Tomahawks coaching staff has over 100 coaches, including current high school, varsity, and college coaches. The Tomahawks offer training for players of all ages, clinics, camps, and leagues, along with spring, summer, and fall elite teams. So play with the best. The New Hampshire Tomahawks, showcase and development for college lacrosse. Visit NewHampshireTomahawks.com and girls.nhtomahawks.com. Are you thinking of selling your home? Well, now may be the time, given that spring is here, the market is hot, and interest rates remain at all-time lows. It's time to call Roger Howe, a licensed professional realtor with the Bean Group. Not sure what your home is worth? Roger will provide a market analysis for you at no charge. With 12 years experience in residential, commercial, leasing, and investment properties, Roger knows your local market. So contact Roger Howe of the Bean Group today. Is your company interested in showcasing your brand to thousands of high school sports fans across New Hampshire? If not, why not? And if so, let's go. Friday Night Lights New Hampshire is seeking sponsorship partners. It's the perfect way for your company to get out in front of the moms and dads who make up our community. Help us help you, and we can grow together. If you're interested in partnering with Friday Night Lights New Hampshire, then email us at fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. That's fnlnhmedia@gmail.com. Join our team today.
9-6 the final. Portsmouth, they beat Timberlane. They win their first ever boys lacrosse championship in Division II and capitalize on just a fantastic season, unbeaten for most of it. They didn't suffer their only loss until the final week of the regular season against Winnicott. They draw perhaps the toughest tournament road. They end up surviving Winnicott, dethroning Dairyfield, and topping Timberlane here 9-6 in the championship.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question out of the three divisions in NHIAA this year that they towed the hardest line to get to where they're at today. If not for Brady Marston for the Timberlane Owls, literally standing on his head in the first half of this game, coming up with some big saves, it could have been a far more distant score here. But Timberlane, they're in the same position, I feel, that Portsmouth was 2 or 3 years ago. They are a year or two away from getting the kinks out, solidifying their skill levels, finding a little more offensive prowess out there, and they'll be back next season. Obviously, they're going to lose some key guys on
but they're
their
bringing
team.
a lot back, including Marston, to your point.
Exactly.
Right.
Marston's only a sophomore,
right.
and he'll be competing with the likes of Finn Mason from Oyster River and others. But hey, they're going to be back in this show next year. Hopefully, the brackets will be a whole lot different, and we'll see what happens next year. But great performances by both teams, and congratulations to Coach Chad Vischer with his first championship in 14 years. He started in 2007 as the head coach.
There is Coach Vischer leading the crew, trophy in hand.
Wow. What a sight. And there it is.
And there's the Gatorade shower for Coach Vischer. The Clipper Nation here making the trip from the Seacoast to Bedford to cheer on their school, and they've got it. The hardware is there.
And again,
what a feeling that must be. I can only imagine. That's Michaelitis, by the way, the goaltender, still with the helmet on in the fray there for Portsmouth.
It might get hit with a shot here, But, hey, listen, one of the things I love about lacrosse that we've missed most of the season is the handshake after the game. And we've seen that in the playoffs. We didn't see it at all. I can't remember at all during the season. But it was great to see both these teams shake and then, move on.
And, of course, one other thing that was absent all year long was the crowd. And this crowd really delivered. The D1 crowd as well. Both schools represented well. No incidences. Everyone behaved themselves and really elevated the level of play on the field due to the constant noise, constant encouragement. And that, more than anything, I think, was what's been missing during this COVID-19 situation. Let's recap. Portsmouth, they scored the first 3 goals of the game, held a 3-0 lead until the final second of the first quarter. That's when Timberlane's Ryan Freeman got the Owls on the board to make it 3-1 after 1. And that seemingly flipped the momentum because Timberlane scored the first 2 goals of the second quarter as well. One was on the EMO by Eric George, Nate Vibber the other. That tied the game at 3. Portsmouth, though, ended the first half on a high note with Michael O'Neill's third and Zach Amen's first. That made it 5-3 Clippers at the break. The teams exchanged goals in the third quarter. Braden Bowman his second, Zach Amen second. So it was a 6-4 Portsmouth lead heading into the fourth quarter. Mike Durkin and Braden Bowman exchanged goals. That made it 7-5 Portsmouth in the early minutes, I guess about midway through the fourth quarter. 2 more, Amend and Durkin, put that one out of reach at 9-5. Nick Matthews, the big fella, got his name in the scorer's book in the final 30 seconds for Timberlane, but too little, too late, as Portsmouth rides a 9-6 win into the championship circle and completes a great day of lacrosse. BG They won earlier today over Exeter in a thriller in Division 1. Trinity up north took care of business in Division 3 over Plymouth. And now again, Portsmouth, they bring home a title to the Seacoast. So BG, their boys and girls both win D1. Portsmouth boys and Portsmouth girls are champions in D2. And the Trinity boys and Derryfield girls are your champions in D3. There are your 6 team champions in lacrosse, in 2021.
Yeah, what a great season, and what a culmination of great games to get to this point, especially on the boys' side. I couldn't be prouder of these two teams out here today. And Portsmouth, they don't lose a whole lot.
Right, remember that junior class was really the strength of this unit, and most of them expected back next year.
Yeah, you got a freshman at the face-off X, you got a freshman and a mend on attack,
yep.
And then you got the junior set with Durkin leading the way,
yep.
And a sophomore in goal. They're going to be back here.
Yeah. All right. Want to thank a number of people. Corey Parker, of course, the Bedford AD, doing a great job as usual. He and his staff always go out of their way to make us feel welcome. We appreciate that. We want to thank Don Boyle and his crew at the NFHS for that ongoing partnership with us here at Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire. Seems like a win-win. We appreciate Don down there in Connecticut. The man up in the crow's nest, our chief videographer, John Barron, doing a great job as usual behind the lens.
Here, here.
The man behind the curtain is Ben Beals, our producer/director, back in the Beals Insurance Studios.
Here, here.
The executive producer is Steve Beals, serving as a runner today up here in the booth. We appreciate that. And, of course, we appreciate you, Roger, all season long. You've bailed us out time and time again. We appreciate it. We welcome you into the fold.
Wonderful.
For sure.
And as John Lennon said on the rooftop, Let It Be album, I hope I pass the audition.
I don't think I can top a John Lennon quote to close it out, so I'm not even going to try. My name is Nick Anastas, saying so long. Final score, final time, Portsmouth 9, Timberlane 6. This has been a presentation of the 2021 NHIAA Boys Lacrosse Division II Championship game here on Friday Night Lights, New Hampshire, presented by Beals Insurance in conjunction with the NFHS Network.